G'day and welcome to Gatekeeper's coverage of the 2023 ACT Disc Golf Championships, the Sizzler, presented by OzDiscs. This coverage has been brought to you by Justice Media and RAD. We're at the beautiful Western Park in the capital city of Australia, Canberra. I'm Tim Bohan and I'm joined with Paddy Robertson and Andrew Ferguson. Together, we are the Tee Off, Australia's disc golf podcast. We're stoked to bring you this awesome coverage of Australian disc golf down in Canberra.
Yeah, stoked to be here. Round one, the middle nine, hey?
Middle nine, 27-hole course at Western, and it's a bit of a slog. It's a very, very long course, covers a lot of ground. Austin and Dave Perry off the hot starts at 6 down.
And here we have hole 10, par 4, 172 metres, 564 feet. Boys, we're bombing out one out around the first group of trees here, and then we're punching down to a tight green, avoiding the path on our right, which is out of bounds.
Yeah, it's a really fun drive, this first one. You just don't want to be too far to the left because you do get pinched off when you're approaching the basket, like Austin has unfortunately done here.
Yeah, we did run into Austin in the practice round, actually, and he was searching for a PD2 he put in the trees, going for a silly shot over the top of things, and that's what you kind of have to do if you go too far left.
That looks a little bit more straighter for Mr. Perry here.
Yeah, that's the landing zone right there.
That's a great position. That path to the right-hand side is OB, and you've got to be careful here because the wind does get up quite a lot off that water. But, Tim, this looks not too bad, maybe short enough to approach the pin.
Yeah, I'm a little bit left, same with Austin, when you kind of want to be more to the right where Dave landed.
Bayne here, hanging one out to the right a little bit, but that is coming back. It looks like he might be in a good landing position there.
Yeah, great spot.
Definitely longest drive for Bayne. So, as I said, when you're off to the left, you kind of have to go something that skips to the pin, which can be tricky. There's a lot of trees down there. Opting for the Justice.
Oh, that's coming back, Tim. I reckon that'll be on the dance floor, mate.
Low is good. Can't see it there, but I did catch the very last tree and it kicked to the right. So, just got a little unlucky there. And
Austin looking very high at this one. And he does.
Wonder if he ever found that PD2.
Goodness
That's how
gracious,
we lost it.
that's gone to the moon.
Justice doesn't know where
Is
to
he
look.
going to hit him on the head?
No idea where that landed. I guess we'll find out. Dave, this AVR X3 has been a magnet for the basket so far.
Yeah, and that looks like that's the same result as he has been getting. That's on the dance floor. Very straightforward up and down for Bayne there, I think.
Yep, he came in a little short, but got a little roll, so he'll have a nice putt for the bird. This is where Austin landed, so he came in a bit short. See the basket in the shadows there. As I said, he's never laid up in his life, so he gives that a good honest bid. Just coming up a little bit to the right. And yeah, this is I hit the last tree and just got really pinched off. Had nothing out to the right. Had to sort of do a pattern pending through the gap here.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, this is the kind of shot we dream about here, you know.
Yeah, Justice positioning himself just beautifully there to catch that one.
And there you go, me having a little whinge about not having an open putt, being that close to the pin.
Do we have a chain hanging down here? What's going on with that basket? No, okay. It's been secured.
Locked in. And locked in like Dave Perry. Puts in another birdie that'll take him to 7 down, which is one up on Aussie D. Bayne gets the birdie. He did most of the work with that huge drive.
Just tapping in there, Tim. Nice to get a par on this too. All right, next up, hole 11. This is a par 4. Another massive opportunity here to rip a big drive. There's no OB left or right. You just want to get to the crest of that hill, and then you've got this slightly downhill approach to a basket just tucked away in the trees there. You don't want to go too far long after that approach, though, because it does get a little bit hairy inside.
It's called Mashville for a reason. The tee shot just lets you throw whatever you want to throw as far as you want to throw it. Is a little uphill off the tee, and ideally you want to get over that crest and just let your disc sail.
So how far is it to the crest there where David just landed?
Maybe 100.
Okay.
I was just thinking on that tee, is like, you just don't want to hit that tree in the middle. Sorry, Bayne.
100%.
That wasn't friendly.
He'll be fine.
Interesting to see if Austin goes the roller. No, he just goes the big backhand turnover.
Quite a nice scoopy kind of air bouncy throw, Austin. I've never really noticed that before, but
It does have the ultimate background.
There you go.
Spot on. Very ultimate, that.
Oh, Tim.
Yeah, it is
Straight into the one tree, mate.
Absolute iron leaf there.
Exactly.
Goodness gracious.
It's very open though, so you should be able to get down, and it should be an easy up and down for you.
I'm quite far away here. Very disappointing to hit the one obstacle in the way. That's actually great shape.
Beautiful looking shape there.
Yeah, hoping that fights back, and unfortunately it didn't. It just kept turning, so didn't quite get the finish I needed. Bayne looks like he's got that a little nose up, and that's going to finish a little left. The basket is in line.
Well, that'd be a pin high, I reckon, actually.
Did fight through, but yeah. Austin's got it dialed. That's dead straight at the pin.
Oh, he doesn't like it.
Unhappy though.
I don't think Austin's ever been happy with a shot, but I got to say that's got to be close. He'll have a putt there.
I like this forehand approach, actually.
Ooh, that's actually a bit of an unforced error from Dave. You can see where I've landed here. Another patent pending. Absolutely nothing on that right side. So I've gone the fuse, backhand turnover, and that actually worked out very nicely. All I could do from there. Yeah, Perry, he'd want to have that shot again. He was relatively open in the ideal landing zone for a forehand approach.
Putting from about
chance.
Definitely circle 2.
Yeah.
A little bit of love off the tree there.
And look at this. Bayne's gone a little long. Looks like he's got some open airspace for a putt, though.
Ooh,
just hit the top.
This is what I mean about that forest. You don't want to go too far into it because your line gets a lot tighter.
And Austin smashing in the bird. Don't know why he wasn't happy with that shot, because he was left with like an 8 metre putt, which is what I've got for the par, and I sneak it in the bucket, which is great.
Nice up and down, Tim.
Well done, Bayne.
I think
you're just going to clean up his par.
Austin's going to walk away with the only birdie on this feature card here.
That's it, and we'll move on to hole 11B, hole 12. This is a 262-foot, 80-metre par 3, and shout out to cameraman Disc Golf Justice, actually aced this one in practice. It's a bit uphill, bit of a tight tunnel. You do want to throw a nice hyzer flip, ideally, to get up there. Just like Austin's demonstrating there, it's flipped up a bit too much, and he has found the right side rough.
These trees or hedge that you can see on the left-hand side too just eat discs.
Yeah,
you do not want to go into there.
Yeah, they are made of Velcro. They will grab your disc if you nick them. So definitely
just following suit there a little bit with Austin's throw.
Everyone erring on the side of right, which is the way to play the hole.
Bayne making the correction there, and looks like he's put that one in the circle.
Look textbook.
Trying to hug the right side with a flex forehand here.
Of course you are.
That's looking really good.
That
just
good.
Flex forehand, Tim. I've never seen you throw one of them.
You'll see that Sexton Firebird come out a few times, Paddy. And it was a pretty good attempt, actually. I did get a little fade and got a little bit of rough here, but no, I should be in circle 1. These boys just coming up a little bit short, having hit that right side rough. And yeah, a bit low from Dave, so...
I think he might have had that branch contending with his line a bit there. Bayne, this has gone long of the pin.
Yeah,
beautiful.
Long of the pin's tough. And this is where the forehand ended up. Bit of a... had to take a knee to get under the canopy here.
Oh.
And yeah, a bit unlucky. That was pretty spot on from my line, but as I said, I've missed a few putts by this point, so these baskets are looking smaller and smaller. Like throwing a disc in a tic-tac bucket, mate.
That's okay, Austin. It stayed in.
And a smile.
All right, moving on to hole 13, par 4, 177 metres, 581 feet. Boys, we're putting one out into a landing zone here, is that correct? And then we've got to play over an out-of-bounds area to an island green.
Spot on. The tee shot is a little tricky, a little tight, so you just want to get a nice backhand hyzer out there.
Like
and he's done
this.
that very well.
Absolutely textbook. You do have, it has to be quite a stabby hyzer as well, because going too far, or if you go too far straight, there is an OB line there.
That's it. If you go too long, you're OB. Bit of a tricky hole. A lot of OB on this hole. A lot of kangaroos as well. Bit of Aussie wildlife. Hopefully they appear on the coverage.
Oh, Dave, lovely.
Beautiful.
3 perfect backhand hyzers, and I'll step up and I'll find any excuse not to throw a backhand.
Forehand roller?
Is this the Sidewinder again? What have you on?
No, I go on the Thunderbird. I like getting that down for my forehand rollers that turn over, and actually perfect.
Austin just hit this guardian tree on the left of that avenue coming in, but
How far is he throwing from there?
That's about 120 metres actually. He's got a bit of distance, and I think he got very lucky, snuck around the wall at the back of the green and just snuck onto the island. I'm going for it. Yep. Took a full forehand and just got
lovely.
over. Just got over the KFC buckets that are the wall there.
Are they a sponsor?
They are not. They're the Ausdis Signs, Fergie.
Excuse me, sorry.
So Bayne got so far up there, he could go for the nice forehand spike onto the green, which is ideal.
Yeah, it was Dave OB here.
He may have been OB, I think. He may have just gone long. But he's made up for it there.
Really puts it in.
And this is where Austin's second shot landed. As I said, just snuck on. There was an OB line right behind him, and he just got in. And and that's
A little unlucky there. A little
it's
high.
just fallen out. My forehand got a little deep. I've got a bit of a low ceiling. I don't know if I can punch this under there to get there, and not quite. It's a bit unfortunate to not have the airspace for the putt there, but you do have to take on that OB if you want to land it close.
Bainey with something similar. Mm-hmm. But he's got a little bit more airspace and puts that one in.
Very nicely done.
Now, this was one of the harder holes of the day. Played at 4.06.
And Dave was in bounds. Got the birdie there.
Nice, Dave. All right, next up, hole 14. Par 3, 364 feet, 111 metres. You've got 2 avenues to work with here. Bit of OB left and right if you go wide enough, and some OB long enough, but they shouldn't really come into play.
Do like this hole. Got a very wide tee pad that lets you take the right or the left side avenues. A lot of the backhanders will be going off to the right, and that's a very early tree from Dave and a very bad kick.
Now, the right-hand side is a bit wider, but yeah, you really don't want to be left, because those trees are absolutely a jungle and love to knock down your disc. Jeez, that's a good throw.
Finding a bit of a local route there. And
that's it.
I think you know something.
He's the Canberran. He knows the lines, and he's done that to perfection. I'm going the left-hand side with a flex forehand.
That looks nice.
Needed a little bit more pop out of the hand, but as I said, if you turn it over too much, these trees that Dave's near, very grabby, so you want to be down the middle or to the right. And boys, Dave's done
fantastic.
That well. Yeah, he's used every bit of the fairway and open airspace to get there, but if he saves par from that spot, that's very impressive.
Yeah, I reckon that would have been about edge of circle 2 from Bainey there. And Tim, you look like you're about maybe 13, 14 metres.
Yeah, a little bit awkward to land in this trench.
Oh.
Yeah, hit the top. I reckon I've hit every part of the basket except the chains to this point, and my confidence level is super low. Look at Dave's upshot. Perfect.
Mate, we're still not even at Austin's drive yet. Far out. That's huge. Great birdie from Austin.
Yeah, very, very good birdie. Yeah, we're moving on to hole 15, which is probably one of the signature holes of Western Park, called Crush Rock. It's a 220-metre, 722-foot par 4. Off the tee, you want a nice flex backhand or hyzer flip backhand, pushes up through the avenue and lands in this landing zone here. From there, it's a backhand turnover or a forehand hyzer to this basket perched on the rocks. Very, very iconic Canberra hole. That's not quite the line from Austin. That's a very left, and yeah, he's dropped down in the middle of the fairway.
Let's see if Mr. Bayne can make a correction, and that looks pretty sweet out of the hand, but that's going to get pretty stable on him.
Yeah, probably fortuitous to hit that tree because there is OB to the left if you keep fading, which is exactly where he was heading.
You really want to bite off quite a bit from this drive.
Yep.
Those shorter tree hits there, it really takes birdie out of play, but Dave looks like he'll be in a perfect position.
Mr. Bowen with the rare backhand, but laced.
Yeah, it's
Beautiful.
worked out pretty nicely, that one. As Paddy said, you want to get at least halfway there off the tee because you do need to go high on the second shot, or you can go the roller, which is what Austin's opting for. And if he misses those trees, it looks like he got caught up there, but that was actually quite a good angle. Bayne, this is actually quite a good spot after hitting those trees off the tee.
It's a big forehand, though. Like, we're talking probably 110, 115 metres.
Yep, and popping them up that high in the wind, it's a tricky shot. I got a little bit unlucky to be wedged off, a bit further up than Bayne, but definitely a worse lie. Got to go the flex.
Yeah, put a good move on that. Good shape.
She fades back. I'll have a look for birdie.
Yeah, nice shot.
Yeah.
What, edge of circle?
Yeah, not bad from there. This basket in the rocks is a little elevated, so you do want to put it close.
Dave here also opting for the sidearm.
Yeah, I think
And
this
putting
orange
it one.
disc of Dave's is a Thunderbird, and he's just money with it. He's got such a powerful forehand.
He went straight in the rocks there, eh?
Austin with that. Was that a layup?
There, lay out from Austin. It is, as I
Goodness
said,
gracious.
doesn't look it, but she's a little high, this basket.
Oh, goodness me.
That's very unlucky from Bayne there.
That RPM
That
basket,
looks-
not wanting to catch that at all.
Just outside circle, and yeah, I've been a bit tentative with the raised basket there.
Sometimes this basket placement around the rocks as well, you get big ants' nests. And, you want to make that putt pretty quick.
That's it. Oh, that was very high.
Don't look at your disc like that, mate. Nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it. Austin's even... Was he smiling then? Again? Oh, I don't know.
It's hard to look past those green shorts, to be honest.
Dave with the bird takes a one-stroke lead. So we're moving on to hole 16, 145-metre par 4. The easiest hole on the course. We're just putting it one straight down the guts here, avoiding the OB on the left-hand side and the OB behind the basket. But, certainly playing is the easiest one.
Absolutely. Shapes up nicely for a forehand if you've got the distance to get around the trees. It's probably about 340 feet, maybe 100, 110 metres to clear the last trees on the right. But honestly, even if you fade into them, pretty accessible green, this one, and very soft par 4.
Yeah, the eagle is in play here. Big roller, big righty backhand. If you can get down there and get yourself a putt, this looks pretty good.
Yep. Maybe needed to stand up a little bit longer.
Very smooth from Bayne here. He's going to be off to the right, but once you get past those trees, you're absolutely fine. Be
That's
an
it.
easy pitch up. Oh, Tim, another forehand.
Oh, look, the hole needs it on this one.
What are we throwing here, Tim?
Oh, that's my X-Cal. Just want to stay on the left-hand side, get out of the trees if I can, which is what I've done.
You've probably got about 70 metres left, I'd say. And that's a good-looking shape.
Lovely.
Good to put one close because, as I said, haven't been hitting those putts, so very happy to put that one close. This was a genuine run, I think, from Bayne.
Yeah, now this hole it was the easiest hole, played at 3.18 average
Dave
over the
here
MPO.
looking at the eagle.
That's a big forehand from Dave to get up that far.
Gives it a good run.
So this is what Austin's roller just got caught by that last tree.
That's a little unlucky, isn't it?
That's it. Easy
All you want to
birdie.
do, though, is get the 3 here and walk away. A 4 here really feels like you're losing a stroke.
Well, 100%. How many birdies did it see on the day, Paddy?
14 birdies over the MPO field. So I think that's almost the whole field.
Mm-hmm. And putting in the 4th there. So nice star frame. We're rattling the chains and moving on to the next hole, which is hole 17. Only 68 metres, this one. It's a par 3, and it's a very, very tiny hazardous island green there. You can see inside the KFC buckets, nicely sponsored by Oz Discs. This island looks tiny from the tee, and that's because it's got to be only marginally bigger than Circle 1. So,
I think some of it was inside Circle 1.
yeah. That looks nicely weighted from Dave. Needs to push. Or just come up short.
Looks like this one's playing slightly uphill.
Maybe. It definitely feels like you need to put it in the bullseye.
Yeah, the hyzer option with a righty backhand or a bit of a spiky forehand seem to be the better options here. That straight shot has a big risk of going long and staying OB or not being long enough, as Dave showed us. But
Bayne's
this looks good.
really...
Looks like he's on the dance floor, which is great. I'm opting for the forehand line, which is no harder than the backhand, but I've definitely left that a little skinny and really had no chance. Super disappointing to miss this island.
So what's the distance here on the drop zone?
I want to say it's about 17, 18 metres, but it's very difficult to run because you've got about 4 metres behind the basket, so you kind of have to lob it up and hope to drop it in. I'm just laying that one up there and just taking my medicine.
Beautiful from Bayne there. Nice, easy 2. I don't think we've got to Austin yet.
Oh, Dave.
Goodness gracious.
Oh, I want to say that's the third spit out we've seen. Very unlucky for Dave there.
They seem to sit in the chains for such a long time too, but double bogey there for Dave.
Yeah, that's going to knock him down to just 8 under after a very, very hot start. So Austin's probably happy to see that, and he's now at 10 down.
Moving on. All right, hole 18, 154 metres, 500 feet, par 4. Bit tight here off the tee. You want to throw a nice backhand with a little bit of flex and turn. There is a Mando on the right-hand side, but once you get your position, it's a pretty easy approach to the basket there. You don't want to go too far long as well because those trees will obscure your putt. This looks pretty textbook from Austin there in a nice position.
Bayne also smooth with the backhand.
Fading a little bit. It's going to make the angle into the second shot a bit more difficult. I do like the forehand here just because it's a very difficult gap off the tee. So that looks pretty good.
Nice and straight there. If it was too far right, that Mando would come into it, but you controlled that well, Tim.
Not really much else you can do in this hole other than try and bite off about 100 metres of distance and have an angle into the second shot. Exactly what Perry's got here.
Yeah, even though he's the first to drive, he's got a very straightforward look, but did nip that tree, unfortunately.
Yeah, second forehand approach from Perry that hasn't really come off, so he might be getting the yips there a little bit. Austin with a very rare forehand.
He's left himself a little bit of work, but he should be able to do that. Now, that's the Mando tree you're navigating there, Tim.
That's it. So the forehand does give me a bit of a sharper angle into the green, but I'm absolutely happy to have that forehand skip shot into the basket. And Bayne, he did push very left and he's caught up in the forest there, but he did have a relatively open line, which was good.
Dave giving himself every chance
Hey!
for a very downtown putt for Bird.
How's
Look
that?
at him run there. Look at those calves. Goodness gracious.
That's what you want after having a spit out from 5 metres, just drop it in from 20. Austin, unfortunately, not happy with that effort there.
Tim, you're well poised for another birdie, mate.
You'd like to hope so, Paddy.
There you go.
Beautiful.
Lovely. And a very simple tap in from Bayne. Austin getting the old beer frame there. All right, and that is the middle 9 result. So Austin's pretty solid on a 10 under. David Perry 1 stroke behind him on 9. Luke putting in a very good performance and sitting at 7. And Timmy, you're about a 1 down there, mate.
Too many pars, not enough birdies, Paddy. But yeah, we'll see you again for the back 9 of this final 27 holes back at the Sizzler.